Hello, friends, and welcome to this month's community conversation. I am Janae Armand from Team Flip, and today we will be discussing digital citizenship. What is it, and why is it important? And most importantly, how do we teach it? And this episode is extra special because number one, it is Digital Citizenship Week, and we invited several different members of our community to share their thoughts, experiences, and ideas on this exact topic, digital citizenship. We will hear from an educator, an IT expert and parent, a student, and one of our Discovery Library content partners. We'll learn together and grow together. Are y'all ready? Let's get started. Cue the countdown. Hello and welcome to today's community conversation. Today we are discussing digital citizenship. We know the world of technology is at our fingertips, and while this is amazing, it comes with great responsibility as parents and as teachers. We need to prepare our kids for good digital citizenship, but before we start our learning journey today, I want to introduce you to our co-hosts. With me today, I have Flip safety expert, Kirby Kuykendall. Hey, Kirby, do you want to share a little bit about you and your role?
Yeah, thanks, Jornay. It's great to be here with you today. My name is Kirby Kuykendall. I live in the Seattle area with my wife and daughter and some goats and chickens. I lead the trust and safety team here at Flip, where our main goal is to ensure that we make Flip safe for everyone using it.
Yes, that is our top priority, safety. And as a quick reminder for all of you, please use the chat for your questions and your comments. We want to hear from you. And please be sure to share your favorite moments, shout outs, and really anything on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram by tagging at Microsoft Flip. Now, Kirby, and to all of you watching us, as I said, this is going to be an extra special episode as we will be hearing from several members of our community, each holding a different role in the world of education. So let's meet them.
I'm Monica Joshi, and I'm currently the head of information technology from Satpur Middle School, India. And I'm in this education field from the last 23 years.
Hi everyone, I'm Namya Joshi, a grade 10 student from Satpur Middle School, India.
Hi everyone, I'm Kim Carr with Digital for Good and hashtag I Can Help. I'm the co-founder and the executive director. I'm excited to be able to have a conversation about digital citizenship.
Well, thanks, Monica, Namya, and Kim for joining us. Now, we asked Monica, Namya, and Kim to tell us about digital citizenship and share their perspectives. Let's see how they answered. We asked, what does digital citizenship mean to you? Why is it important? And you answered,
what is digital citizenship? Let's just kind of break it down, right? Digital is in these devices, and then citizen is we're all together, right, on these devices. Everything from gaming to phones usage, all that. So I always tell people the golden rule was treat others like you want to be treated. But I think with the new concept of taking it to the next step is the silver rule, where that's treat others like they would want to be treated. Think of your craziest friend and then like your shyest friend. How you would treat them would be different than how you treat somebody else. So same thing when you're coming across different people, it's treating others like they want to be treated on these devices as being that digital citizen. So I'm hoping that helps you think. So think about how you can use that silver rule down the road.
Digital citizenship isn't just about staying safe online. It's about engaging with others with respect and empathy, evaluating the accuracy, perspective, and validity of information available online, using technology for civic engagement and to be a force of good, to prioritize our activities online and offline, and knowing how to be safe online and creating safe spaces for others as well. This makes us an impactor and a good digital citizen. Now that's very important because it teaches citizens to use technology in order to engage respectfully online, to find reliable resources, and to create safe spaces for others as well.
Anyone who uses computers, the internet, or other digital devices to interact with the society on any level is considered to be practicing the digital citizenship, which is the responsible use of technology. It's important to know that how the internet works, knowing how you can protect your digital devices, your identity at the platforms, at the social platforms by practicing digital literacy positively. At the same time, taking care of the health and emotional wellness.
That was such great information. And we can see here, Kirby, that Monica, Namia, and Kim describe digital citizenship in a similar way. And although they each use technology just a little differently and they have a different role in education, they are coming from different parts of the world but recognize the importance of digital citizenship. So, what are your thoughts? Did you hear anything that piqued your interest?
Yeah, it's funny that Kim referenced the silver rule. We used to call that the platinum rule, and as a matter of fact, it was part of my signature block for years. The treat others how they want to be treated. That's pretty key in that, Jornay, you prefer to be treated a certain way that's going to be dramatically different from how I want to be treated or expect to be treated. That certainly extends to the internet, beyond the or digital citizenship, beyond how we interact with each other personally. So, yeah, that really resonated with me.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Namia even mentioned something similar, not only thinking about ourselves, but how can we
Mhm.
create those safe spaces for others? And I think that is huge when we're talking about digital citizenship. So we have another question. We asked, what are your top tips to help families and students make good choices online? And you answered,
Making better decisions lead to better results. And when it comes to making good online choices, some of the tips could be reducing distractions, taking breaks from screen time, managing time effectively, using checklists or timetables, and turning off the notifications when doing some important work. So let's humanize learning with tech for good.
It's very important for the parents to spend time online also with their kids. It will help you to, know your kids whom they're spending time digitally, and will help you to know their friends as well. And also talk to your kids about the online activity openly. Keep on checking their browser history and have faith in them at the same time, and talking about the importance of the digital footprints and tell them the importance and the consequences. And very important thing, lead by example. Practice what you preach.
The top tips I definitely have about using these devices is number one is like, just remember there's real people behind these screens. Like if you wouldn't say to someone's face, like, should we be saying it here? And like, when should we be engaged and when should we step out? Like there's times even as an adult, I have to be like, should I engage in this? Do I want to be involved? And then even asking yourself, should I follow? Should I subscribe? Should I like? Should I comment? Because basically what you're saying is you're saying, my name is, and I approve of this message. My name is, I support this. Right. And you want to actually put your name on something. So I think these are the big pieces you really need to think about, because there's always this saying of like, show me your friends and I can show you your future. And the same thing goes with like, who are you following? Going through who do you follow online is so important, because if it's super toxic or super negative, that's going to affect you and your mental health. And I think that's the biggest piece people are realizing. And then set up boundaries. You have to set up boundaries of how much time you spend with certain friends. Same thing, you need to set up boundaries of how much time you spend on these devices.
wow, this is amazing. So many incredible tips that I heard that I jotted down for myself, for my daughters, for students. So, Kirby, what do you think? These are great tips, right?
Yeah, I agree with staying in touch with what your kids are doing online for sure. It's not a babysitter. And by all means, if you're a lead or an educator who's using our Flip platform today, use the moderation features that are built into the platform to make sure that the content that flows through your classroom is appropriate for the other children that are or students that are consuming it.
Oh, absolutely. And, one thing Namia even said was, a good choice is also how much screen time you're
Hmm.
really having, monitoring, the time you are on your devices. And Kim even mentioned thinking about who you're following. That says a lot about you. And that digital footprint that Monica shared is so important. We need to be mindful of what we're putting out there because it lasts forever. So, Kirby, you are leading the Flip Trust and Safety team. So, do you have any top tips of your own that can empower good choices?
I mean, from a tip perspective, again, using the moderation tools that are built into the platform, there's plenty of resources online from a empowering the diverse voices of others. Let's make sure that we are respectful of each other, and that we think about what we put online.
Absolutely. One thing I absolutely love about Flip, besides that moderation feature, Kirby, is that you have choices and chances with Flip, right?
Mhm.
So if you record a video, you have that moment to review that video and kind of think to yourself, is this something that I really want to post at this moment in time? And in addition to that, if you do post it and then you have that second thought, you can actually go back and you can hide that comment, right? And so I think having everyone that's on Flip know that they have the autonomy to be able to make those choices and make those good choices is one way that we can all be digital citizens, good digital citizens. So we have a final question. So we asked, what is one successful resource or idea that can encourage respectful online interaction? And you answered,
Be respectful and expect respect. Respect for yourself and others is important in all relationships, and it's no different when you're conversing with people online. And other important thing is watch your tone, proofread your message or any comment before sending it to others so that the language is appropriate and it should not hurt others and it should not be misinterpreted. Use of appropriate emojis and hashtags can always help.
The one resource that I have is actually one we just created with our social media emergency plan. And it's just basically it's reporting. So it's a hyperlink to all the social media companies where you can go report, because we truly do need everyone's help with digital citizenship. When you see somebody that's crossing that line of being inappropriate, rude, and cruel, that you go and help report. These companies need your help, right? To be able to help us all get along on these devices is to report. And we call them being digital first responder. You're the first ones to the scene. You're the first one who says, hey, my name is, this is cross the line. This is not all right. So it's hyperlinks right to where you can go report. The other thing that's on here, it's actually parent guidelines. So making sure that parents even know this is a resource, that Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat and TikTok have changed their parent guidelines and have actually made some parental controls that are super awesome, that we even know those exist. And then the last one on there is for law enforcement. So it's a direct link in case there's ever a school threat, so everyone can feel safe on these devices.
Some successful resources or ideas that can encourage respectful online interactions are by being a good listener, respectful and polite to others. And when you're using emoticons or smiley faces, we should make sure that we are clear and as specific as possible so that we know what we're expressing. Never using all caps, respecting people's privacy, not posting pictures online without consent of others, and not sharing private information is very important. And lastly, not forwarding spam emails, as it could damage the computer through the viruses that are embedded itself in the email.
once again, so many resources and ideas. One thing that Monica was really sharing is thinking about being respectful in any type of posting that you're putting online. And then Namia circled back to that and really shared, even when how you post, if you post things that are in all caps, what is that really communicating to someone else? Or make sure, we live in a digital age where we want to be able to take pictures and share those pictures, but if someone else is in those pictures, respect their privacy and ask if it's okay first if you post it online. And wow, Kim from I Can Help had a wealth of resources right on their platform for students and parents, which I think that's one resource I'm going to explore more. So, Kirby, I loved all these ideas and resources. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, one of my favorite resources is commonsense.org. They've got a full curriculum for educators to teach digital citizenship. So I highly encourage folks to go check out commonsense.org.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Our friends at Common Sense, thank you so much for the work that you do in ensuring that everyone knows what tools are available and how they are safe and accessible to use. So I want to thank Monica, Namia, and Kim for sharing your thoughts, experiences, and tips with us. So, Kirby, we're getting a lot of questions, and I think one that I see a lot coming up is about safety on Flip. Can you share some of the processes and maybe steps that your team takes on Flip to protect students?
Absolutely. And beyond the ubiquitous, sort of machine learning and human review, we've been looking at how do we turn this into a sort of more of a teaching moment or a teaching environment around how do you use a platform responsibly. So we've got some principles here. We promote an inclusive and productive space focused on respect, in which everyone can benefit from the diverse voices of others. We provide a platform that empowers people to rethink and learn from their missteps. And you may have seen this through our text moderation, where if you use a word that maybe doesn't necessarily snap to our moderation, they'll get a suggestion to change that word directly there in the on the Flip platform. We review content open-mindedly and without bias. We leverage culture and context, and we make sure that we keep the human element of it center. We respond swiftly and transparently to take down content that's potentially harmful. And we always rely on our community to make sure that we reflect on how we're doing and evolve our platform as we go forward.
Yes, I absolutely love that respect process and the opportunity for students to rethink right on the Flip platform is really preparing them to be digital citizens in other platforms, right? So
Right.
they can learn how to be great digital citizens right on Flip. So I know we have several other questions coming in for Kirby, and before we answer them, we're going to have some fun and also test Kirby's knowledge. So, Kirby, are you ready?
Is there going to be a quiz?
We are having a quiz. It is quiz time. Here we go. So, the way this is going to work is that a sentence will pop up on the screen and you will have to read it and say if it is true or false. And all of you being here with us, type in true or false in the chat. We're going to see how many Kirby can get right and how many you can get right. So, let's get started.
All right, your digital footprint is temporary and can be deleted. I've got to say that's false. That's one of the key things that we're trying to teach folks on Flip and protect people from having their missteps follow them around forever. So I'm going to say false to this one. Teach students not only how to access resources, but also how to use them safely. Yes, I'm going to say this is true. As they become good digital citizens, students can use the internet with a greater sense of self-awareness. Absolutely true. Cyberbullying only affects elementary students. This is false. Cyberbullying can affect just about anybody. It's never too early to start learning about digital citizenship. This is true. Using technology responsibly can help build better relationships in class. Absolutely, I believe this is true.
Well, from this teacher, Kirby, you definitely get an A plus, and I hope everyone in the chat has an A plus too. These are questions you can also ask your students and have questions and comments and conversations centered around as they are learning about digital citizenship. That was so much fun, but we are going to move on and answer some more of your questions. So here's some of the questions that we received. So Kirby, what are some ways that we can teach our kids or students to be an ally?
Oh, that's a great question. It's funny, the changing culture of Microsoft has been marked, and one of those key things is around modeling. And I think that as teachers and as adults, kids are always paying attention. And so if you can model the behaviors that you would like your students and or your children to big part of their DNA, you have to model those things. So be an ally. Be an ally for your children. Be an ally for other children. Be an ally for other adults. I think that's a great way to engender that behavior to your children and to your students.
Absolutely. And as educators are creating groups for their students to interact, how would you respond if a group chat gets a little out of control?
Yeah, that's where having moderation is a great teacher's affordance, especially to the Flip platform. But I think being respectful and showing up in a curious way to understand what's going on. You can definitely turn a conversation by being proactive and getting ahead of it. You can typically anticipate when things are going to go a little sideways, especially in comments and those types of online chats. So just being present is key.
Yes. And you mentioned this word being present, and I think that is something that we have to keep in mind every single day for ourselves and for those that we interact with. What we see, what we hear, what we feel, we have a responsibility not only to ourselves, but also to others. And so we heard a wealth of information today. We learned about tons of resources. And I just want to thank everyone for your thoughtful questions and just for joining us in today's community conversation. We truly learned so much together. So, Kirby, do you have any final thoughts that you want to share with everyone watching?
Yeah, I think that I'm super thrilled that the Flip organization has invested so much in trust and safety. Trust and safety is a first-class citizen in the product building process here. And so I want to make sure that the users of Flip, our community members, know that their safety and that building trust with them is something that we take very seriously and is really something that's at the front of everything that we do.
Absolutely. And you can learn more of that information right on our platform in our help center as well. We want to just take a moment to give a big shout out to Atika and Tracy. We see you out there on YouTube being super active in the chat, and you got all of the answers correct. So thank you so much for joining in today with us and being active. So, Kirby, thank you so much for being here. We would love for everyone to explore Flip. To help you get started, you are all invited to join our community group where you can find more ideas or good practices from our Flip fam. We also have some amazing ready-to-use resources for you in our Discovery Library. I Can Help team has created some great topics that you can use right now. Just go to aka.ms/I Can Help, share the topics with your students, and start these important conversations today. And even though we're wrapping up for today, we have Flip events every week for your classrooms, more community conversations, and weekly professional development opportunities to help you get started with Flip. So just head to aka.ms/Flip events to find the right type of activity just for you. Well, guys, you know what? That is it for today. I can't believe this conversation went by so quickly. I am your host, Journée Armand, and on behalf of Flip and our amazing guests, thank you so much for spending your precious time with us. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.